Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. Now, this lesson is lesson 21. Imagine that! We've been learning English together for 20 lessons. Fantastic! How do you feel? Are you happy? Yes? Good. Are you ready to revise what we've learned so far? Yes? Terrific! Okay, well this week, week 5, we're going to look back at what we learned in weeks 1 to 4. In the first week, we learned how to say hello to people and how to introduce ourselves and how to introduce other people. There were 5 ways we learned to say hello. Do you remember them? That's right. We use good morning, good afternoon and good evening. And we also use hello and hi. Now, what was the difference between the 5 ways of saying hello? Do you remember? That's right. We use good morning, good afternoon and good evening at different times of the day. In the morning, afternoon and evening. We can use hello and hi all day long. We don't have to think about what time it is. Do you remember lesson 1? When I meet someone, I say, hello, I'm Gav Duncan. As an alternative, I can say, hi, I'm Gav Duncan. Hello and hi are the same. In the morning, I say, good morning, I'm Gav Duncan. In the afternoon, I say, good afternoon, I'm Gav Duncan. And in the evening, I say, good evening, I'm Gav Duncan. So when I meet someone, I say hello and I tell them my name. To tell someone your name is to introduce yourself. Now, what about the different ways of saying hello? In English, we say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. When do we say good morning? In the morning. When do we say good afternoon? In the afternoon. When do we say good evening? In the evening. Easy. Now, when is the morning? Well, in English, we say the morning is from 6 a.m. until 12 p.m. 12 p.m. is also called noon, lunchtime. Okay, we know when the morning is, but when is the afternoon? The afternoon is from 12:01 until about 6 p.m. Okay, we also know when the afternoon is, but when is the evening? The evening is from 6:01 p.m. until about 10 p.m. Okay, now we know the parts of the day: morning, afternoon and evening. So, if the time is 6:25 a.m., I say good morning. If the time is 3:27 p.m., I say good afternoon. And if the time is 8:42 p.m., I say good evening. And we're back. Okay, so now we know 5 ways to say hello. Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now, one thing we have to be careful with is good night. Good night is the same thing as saying goodbye. The only difference is we say goodbye all day and we say good night at night. Simple. Now, do you remember AM and PM? Do you remember what they mean? That's right. AM is before noon. When's noon? That's right, noon is lunchtime, and PM is afternoon, after lunchtime. So AM is in the morning, and PM is in the afternoon. Now, what about introducing ourselves and other people? When I meet someone, what do I tell them? That's right, I tell them my name. How do I tell them my name? That's right, I use the verb to be. I am Gav Duncan. I'm Gav Duncan. I can also say, my name is Gav Duncan. My name's Gav Duncan. When I introduce someone else, I say, this is. And if I want to introduce a man, I say, his name is. If I want to introduce a woman, I say, her name is. When I want to talk about you, I say, you are or you're. Do you remember lesson 2? Concentrate. Think back to lesson 2. Now, let's look at that again. I am or I'm. You are or you're. He is or he's. And she is or she's. My name is or my name's. Your name is or your name's. His name is or his name's. And her name is or her name's. And we're back. Now, we also learned how to make negatives and questions with the verb to be. Do you remember? How do we make a negative? That's right, we use the word not. To make the positive negative, we add not after the verb to be. I am becomes I am not. You are becomes you are not. You're not or you aren't. He is, she is, and it is become he is not, she is not, and it is not. Or he's not, she's not, and it's not. Or he isn't, she isn't, and it isn't. Now, what else did we learn in the first week? That's right, in lesson 3, we learned some numbers. We learned the numbers from 1 to 10, and we learned that this number is O in telephone numbers and 0 and 0 in mathematics. We know that this symbol is plus, this symbol is minus, and this symbol is equals. Now, when we looked at numbers, we also learned a new form of number in the first week. We learned some ordinal numbers, numbers we use to put in order or to make a list. Do you remember? Lewis Hamilton is first, second, or third. So, what are the numbers from 1 to 10? And what are the ordinal numbers from 1 to 10? Do you remember? Think back to lesson 3. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, let's try that backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blimey. Okay, so those are the cardinal numbers from 1 to 10. What about the ordinal numbers, the numbers we use to talk about results? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th, 9th, 10th. So, We know that Monday is the first day of the week, and that Saturday is the first day of the weekend. We know that Thursday is not the seventh day of the week. Thursday is the fourth day of the week. Friday isn't the sixth day of the week. Friday is the fifth day of the week. Great. Now, in the first week, we learned the names of the days of the week. We also learned about 3 prepositions of time. Do you remember? Remember Terence the squirrel. We learned the prepositions at, on, and in. Do you remember when we use them? That's right. We use at for clock times, on for days and dates, and in for months, seasons, and years. Remember lesson 4. Concentrate on lesson 4, concentrate lesson 4, lesson 4. We know that when we write the days of the week, we write them starting with a capital letter. The first letter is a big letter. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On, we use at for clock times. I get up at 7:45. We use on for days and dates. On Saturday, on Christmas Day, and we use in when we talk about months, years, and seasons. At 10:30 a.m., at 8:15 p.m., on Tuesday, on Thursday, on the 4th of September, on the 25th of December, in spring, in July, in 2010. We also say in for the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. In the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But we say at night. I work in the morning and in the afternoon. I relax in the evening. I sleep at night. Now, let me tell you a story about the squirrel in my garden. In my garden, there's a squirrel. His name is Terence. Terry, the squirrel. I see him in the morning on Monday, in the morning on Tuesday, and in the morning on Wednesday. I see Terry in the afternoon on Thursday and in the afternoon on Friday. I see Terry in the morning and in the afternoon on Saturday, and in the morning and in the afternoon on Sunday. I see him in the morning and in the afternoon at the weekend. In the spring and summer, I see Terry in the mornings and in the afternoons. I see Terence the squirrel in spring, in summer, in autumn, and in winter. I see him in the morning or in the afternoon on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and on Friday. I see him in the morning and in the afternoon on Saturday and on Sunday. This means I see him in the morning and in the afternoon at the weekend. So, once more, we use in for months, November, December. We use in for seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter. We use in for years, 1970, 1956, 1526, 2016. We use on for days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We use on for dates, the 4th of September, the 25th of December. We use at for clock times, noon, 3:25 p.m, 11:30 a.m. And we're back. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Today we looked at what we learned in the first week, in week 1. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm not Michael J. Fox. I'm not George Clooney. And I'm not Jeffrey Banana. This was lesson 21, the 21st lesson in M5's brand new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. English lessons on your TV. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. I'll see you next time for lesson 22, the 22nd lesson. In lesson 22, we're going to look at what we learned in week 2. I'm Gav Duncan. See you later. Bye. Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay. Well, let's learn English together. Now, this lesson is lesson 22. Imagine that. We've been learning English together for 4 weeks now. Fantastic. How do you feel? Are you happy? Yes? Good. Let's look at week 2, the second week. Do you remember the second week? Now, in the second week, the first thing we looked at was the plural form of the verb to be. Do you remember? Do you remember the difference between singular and plural? Singular means one, and plural means more than one. In lesson 6, we learned the plural form of the verb to be. Think back, concentrate. Lesson 6, lesson 6, lesson 6. Now, the plural form of the verb to be is simple. This is the positive full form. We are, you are, they are. Simple. We are, you are, they are. Okay, so that's the full form. What about the short form? Well, that's easy too. We're, you're, they're. We're, you're, there. Simple. So, now we know the singular, full and short versions of the verb to be. I am or I'm. You are or you're. He, she, it is or he's, she's and its. And we also know the plural full and short versions of the verb to be. We are or we're. You are or you're. And they are or they're. And we're back. We also learned how to make the negative. Do you remember the word we used to make the negative? That's right. We used the word not to make the negative form of the verb to be. And where do we put not? That's right. We put not after the verb to be to make it negative. Think again about lesson 6, lesson 6, lesson 6, lesson 6. We are not. We're not. You are not. You're not. You aren't. They are not. They're not. They aren't. So, we learned the positive and negative form of the verb to be, both the singular and the plural. So, let's see the table, Mabel. Ladies and gentlemen, the verb to be. First, the positive singular. I am or I'm. you are or you're, he, she, it is, or he's, she's, it's. And now the negative singular. I am not or I'm not. You are not, you're not, or you aren't. He, she, it is not. He's, she's, it's not, or he, she, it isn't. And now the positive plural. We are or we're. You are or you're. And they are or they're. And now the negative plural. We are not, we're not, or we aren't. You are not, you're not, or you aren't. And they are not, they're not, or they aren't. And we're back. Okay, so now we know the positive and negative forms of the verb to be, both singular and plural. What else did we learn in the second week? Well, we learned the ABC with a little help from the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5 know the first 3 letters of the alphabet. Concentrate on lesson 7.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as do, re, mi. ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you are the girl.
ABC. 3 letters. Ha! That's nothing. We learned all 26 letters of the alphabet. It's easy. There's only 26. We learned that there are 2 groups of letters, the vowels and the consonants. Now let's think about the alphabet again. We learned that there are 2 groups of letters, the vowels and the consonants. Why are these 2 groups important? That's right, they're important because of nouns. Now, do you remember what a noun is? That's right, a noun is a thing, a place, or a person. A noun is a word which tells us what something is. Nouns give us information about the thing we're talking about. They identify the thing we're talking about. A car, a banana, a woman. Car is a noun, banana is a noun, and woman is also a noun. Now, when we talk about nouns, we use the words and un, not one. We say, I live in a house, not I live in one house. We say, I've got a video camera, not I've got one video camera. We say, this is a dog, not this is one dog. Now, do you remember the nouns we saw in the pictures in lesson 7? A ball, an apple, a car, an eagle, a dog, an iceberg, an octopus, a giraffe, an umbrella, a hand. Now, do you remember the difference? That's right. If the noun begins with a consonant, we say a. And if the noun begins with a vowel, we say un. Good. Now, what else did we learn in week 2? Well, we learned the difference between this and that, and these and those. Remember? This and that are used with singular items. This is near to us, and that is not near to us. It's far from us. These and those are the same idea, but we use them for plurals. These are near to us, and those are far from us. Remember, this was in lesson 7 too. Lesson 7, concentrate, lesson 7, lesson 7, lesson 7. If something is near to us, we use this for singular nouns and these for plural nouns. If something is far from us, we use that for singular nouns and those for plural nouns. This is a t-shirt. That is a t-shirt. This is an apple. That is a cabbage. That is an apple. This is a cabbage. That is a cabbage. This is a telephone. That is a telephone. This is a knife. That is an apple. That is a cabbage. That is a telephone. And that is a t-shirt. Okay, so let's practice using vowels and consonants and this and that. This is an apple. That is an apple. This is a banana. That is a banana. This is a car. That is a car. This is an avocado. That is an avocado. This is a teddy bear. That is a teddy bear. This is an octopus. That is an octopus. Now, let's practice with these and those. These are houses. Those are factories. These are dogs. Those are giraffes. Those are flowers. These are flowers. These are doctors. Those are policemen. And we're back. Now, what else do you remember from week 2? Well, we learned something very important in lesson 8. In lesson 8, we learned how to make questions with the verb to be. We know the full and short versions of the singular and plural forms. We know the full and short versions of the negative singular and plural forms. And in lesson 8, we learned to make a question with the verb to be. When we make a question with the verb to be, what happens to the word order? Do you remember? That's correct. The word order changes. Remember lesson 8? Lesson 8, lesson 8, lesson 8. Now, when we make a question with the verb to be, we change the word order. I am changes to am I. You are changes to are you. He is changes to is he. She is changes to is she. It is changes to is it. So, the word order changes when we make a question. Also, when we make a question, we add a question mark to the end to show it's a question. So, we learned how to ask questions. We also learned how to answer questions with both positive and negative answers. Do you remember? It was in lesson 8 again. When we ask a question, the word order changes and we add a question mark. The sentence, she is married, becomes, is she married? The sentence, I am ugly, becomes, am I ugly? The sentence, he is intelligent, becomes, is he intelligent? And the sentence, you are Hungarian, becomes, are you Hungarian? If the answer is positive, we use the positive version. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. If the answer is negative, we use the negative version. No, they're not. No, they aren't. No, we're not. No, we aren't. So what else did we learn in week 2? Well, we learned some more about nouns. We learned that there are different spellings for nouns when we change from singular to plural. We learned the 5 spelling groups for nouns. Group 1. We change the noun from singular to plural by adding an S. Group 2. We change the noun ending in S or SH or CH or X from singular to plural by adding ES. Group 3. These nouns end in Y. If the noun ends in vowel plus Y, we change the noun from singular to plural by adding S. If the noun ends in consonant plus Y, we change the noun from singular to plural by replacing the Y with IES. Group 4. These are nouns which end in F or FE. To make these nouns plural, we change the F or FE to VES. Group 5 are irregular. They don't use logic. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Today we looked at what we learned in week 2. Next lesson, we'll revise what we learned in week 3. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm not Michael J. Fox, and I'm not Clint Eastwood. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next lesson to revise what we learned in the 3rd week of M5's brand new English learning TV program, Let's Speak English. See you later. Bye. Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. Do you remember what we learned about the Benchfield family? We learned a little about the Benchfield family tree, and we made some sentences about the Benchfields. Do you remember? Lesson 11, lesson 11, lesson 11, lesson 11. Okay, so that's the Benchfield family tree. Now, let's make some sentences about the Benchfields. Tim is Alfredo's son. Tim is his son. John is Alfredo's son. John is his son. Tim and John are Alfredo's sons. They are his sons. Elizabeth is Alfredo's daughter. She is his daughter. Doreen is Alfredo's daughter. She is his daughter. Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo's daughters. They are his daughters. Tim is Mary's son. He is her son. John is Mary's son. He is her son. Tim and John are Mary's sons. They are her sons. Elizabeth is Mary's daughter. She is her daughter. Doreen is Mary's daughter. She is her daughter. Elizabeth and Doreen are Mary's daughters. They are her daughters. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo's children. They are his children. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Mary's children. They are her children. In lesson 12, we learned the plural forms of the personal pronoun. Mabel, table. And now listen to me as I use them. I like my house. You like your house. He likes his house. She likes her house. It likes its house. We like our house. You like your house. They like their house. Now, it likes its house. Well, normally we say it for, well, a dog, for example. So, if the dog likes its dog house, we say it likes its house. Maybe Terence the squirrel likes his skateboard. Then we say it likes its skateboard. And we're back. Now, a few of them are different. First, second, and third. But most of them are very simple. We just add th to the end of the cardinal number. Now, what do you remember about the spelling? Well, we spell the first three like this. First is F-I-R-S-T. Second is S-E-C-O-N-D. And third is T-H-I-R-D. Okay, that's first, second, and third. What about the spelling for the ordinal numbers from 4th to 20th? Well, and we're back. Okay, so what else did we learn in week 3? Well, we learned some question words. Now we know the question words what, who, and where. Do you remember how we asked different questions with these question words? We use this when we meet someone for the first time. When I tell someone my name, when I introduce myself, I say, "Hi, I'm Gav Duncan." Then I normally ask, "What's your name?" Let's see what happens when I meet Paul Pineapple and his friend Sarah Sandwich. I say, "Hi, I'm Gav Duncan. What's your name?" Paul says, "Hi Gav, I'm Paul Pineapple. This is my friend. Her name is Sarah Sandwich." Easy. Now, we can also use what with other things, not only names. "Hello, Alfredo. What's that?" "Hi, Gav. This is my new car." "Hi, Mary. What's that?" "Hi, Gav. This is my dog." "Oh, your dog. What's his name?" "His name is Pedro." So, I use the question word what to ask lots of different questions. What's your name? What's your job? What's his name? What's her name? What's that? What's this? What's your name? Gav Duncan. What's your job? I'm a teacher. What's his name? Dave Squid. What's her name? Mary Benchfield. What's that? It's a teddy bear. What's this? It's a paper cup. What's this in Hungarian? It's Cipőfűző in Hungarian. What is it in English? It's shoelace in English. What's this in English? It's nose in English. Okay, so now we know the word what. Let's look at another question word. The next question word is who. "Hello, Mary. Who's this?" "Hello, Gav. This is my daughter. Her name is Doreen." "Who is your teacher?" "My teacher is Gav." "Who's that man?" "That's Dave Squid." "Who's that woman?" "That's Ivy." Who are they? They're footballers. Who are you? We're policemen. Okay, so now we know two question words, what and who. Now, after we learned those two question words, we learned the third question word, where. Then we used it to ask where from. We use this question word in two very important questions. Where were you born? And where are you from? Do you remember? This is how we ask the question. Where was I born? Where were you born? Where was he, she, it born? Where were we born? Where were you born? Where were they born? And here's how we ask the question, where are you from? Where am I from? Where are you from? Where is he, she, it from? Where are we from? Where are you from? Where are they from? And we're back. Also in week 3, we looked at countries and nationalities and practiced making positive and negative sentences about people and their nationalities. We looked at the possessive apostrophe S to give information about things that belong to people. Lesson 14, lesson 14, lesson 14. This is his car. This is Alfredo Benchfield's car. This is Johnny Halliday's guitar. This is his guitar. This is Gérard Depardieu's passport. This is his passport. This is also Gérard Depardieu's passport. This is also his passport. We looked at the Benchfield family again, and we made sentences about the Benchfields using the possessive apostrophe S. Okay, so that's the Benchfield family tree. Now, let's make some sentences about Alfredo and his family. Tim is Alfredo's son. Tim is his son. John is Alfredo's son. John is his son. Tim and John are Alfredo's sons. They are his sons. Elizabeth is Alfredo's daughter. She is his daughter. Doreen is Alfredo's daughter. She is his daughter. Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo's daughters. They are his daughters. Tim is Mary's son. He is her son. John is Mary's son. He is her son. Tim and John are Mary's sons. They are her sons. Elizabeth is Mary's daughter. She is Mary's daughter. Doreen is Mary's daughter. She is her daughter. Elizabeth and Doreen are Mary's daughters. They are her daughters. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo's children. Remember, child is irregular. Remember lesson 10. Child becomes children. Man becomes men. Woman becomes women. And sheep becomes sheep. They are his children. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Mary's children. They are her children. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo's children. Alfredo and Mary have 4 children. They are their children. Tim is Alfredo and Mary's son. John is Alfredo and Mary's son. Tim and John are Alfredo and Mary's sons. Elizabeth is Alfredo and Mary's daughter. Doreen is Alfredo and Mary's daughter. Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo and Mary's daughters. Tim and John and Elizabeth and Doreen are Alfredo and Mary's children. They are their children. Ooh, blimey, time's up. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Today we looked at what we learned in week 3. Next lesson, we'll revise what we learned in week 4. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm not Michael J. Fox, and I'm not Clint Eastwood. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next lesson to revise what we learned in the 4th week of M5's brand new English learning TV program, Let's Speak English. See you later. Bye. Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. Okay, so where were we? Oh yes, I remember. We're revising what we learned in weeks 1 to 4. Good. Now, last lesson we looked at nationalities and countries and using the possessive apostrophe S to talk about things that belong to people. In week 3, we practiced asking and answering questions connected to countries and nationalities. Lesson 15, it was lesson 15, lesson 15. Now, let's look at a couple of example questions and answers. Where are you from? I'm from the UK. Where is he from? He's from Hungary. Where are they from? They're from Australia. We looked at the structure of the sentence and put it all into a couple of tables. In the tables, we saw how we make positive and negative sentences. Mabel, table. I'm from the UK. So we start with the person or thing, I, you, he, she, it. Then we use the verb to be, am, are, is. Then we use the word from, and then we say the place. Okay, easy. Let's practice that. Easy. The person, the verb to be, from, and the place. Okay, now, what about the negative? Well, how do we make the negative version of the verb to be? That's right, we add the word not. Okay, so when we make a negative sentence with the verb to be, where do we put not? Do you remember? Here's a reminder. I am not, or I'm not. You are not, you're not, or you aren't. He, she, it is not. He's, she's, it's not, or he, she, it isn't. We are not, we're not, or we aren't. You are not, you're not, or you aren't. And they are not, they're not, or They aren't. Good. Okay, so back to the sentences with where. If we want to make the sentence, I'm from London, negative, what do? That's right. We add not after the verb to be. I'm not from London. Great. Easy as pie. Now, let's change the rest of the positive sentences into negative sentences. I am not from London. You are not from China. He is not from Belgium. She is not from Venezuela. It is not from Japan. You are not from Canada. We are not from Mexico. They are not from Poland. Now, after we practiced making positive and negative sentences about where people come from, there was only one thing left to tackle: the question. This was very simple too. Do you remember what happens to word order when we make a question? That's right, the word order changes. Okay, Mabel, it's time for the table. Frankie Hoffman to be from Canada. Okay, first the positive. Frankie Hoffman is from Canada. Now the negative. Frankie Hoffman is not, isn't from Canada. And the question? Is Frankie Hoffman from Canada? Okay, let's see that in a table. Now, a new topic which we learned in week 4 was the topic of telling the time. We learned how to tell the time on the hour, which is very easy. Lesson 17, lesson 17, lesson 17. The time is 1 o'clock, or it's 1 o'clock. The time is 2 o'clock, or it's 2 o'clock. The time is 3 o'clock, or it's 3 o'clock. The time is 4 o'clock, or it's 4 o'clock. The time is 5 o'clock, or it's 5 o'clock. The time is 6 o'clock, or it's 6 o'clock. The time is 7 o'clock, or it's 7 o'clock. The time is 8 o'clock, or it's 8 o'clock. The time is 9 o'clock, or it's 9 o'clock. The time is 10 o'clock, or it's 10 o'clock. The time is 11 o'clock, or it's 11 o'clock. The time is 12 o'clock, or it's 12 o'clock. We can also use AM or PM at the end of the sentence, like this. The time is 6 p.m. or it's 6 p.m. So we can use o'clock or AM, PM. The time is 1 a.m. or it's 1 a.m. The time is 2 a.m. or it's 2 a.m. The time is 3 a.m. or it's 3 a.m. The time is 4 a.m. or it's 4 a.m. The time is 5 a.m. or it's 5 a.m. The time is 6 a.m. or it's 6 a.m. The time is 7 a.m. or it's 7 a.m. The time is 8 a.m. or it's 8 a.m. The time is 9 a.m. or it's 9 a.m. The time is 10 a.m. or it's 10 a.m. The time is 11 a.m. or it's 11 a.m. The time is 12 a.m. or it's 12 a.m. The time is 1 p.m. or it's 1 p.m. The time is 2 p.m. or it's 2 p.m. The time is 3 p.m. or it's 3 p.m. The time is 4 p.m. or it's 4 p.m. The time is 5 p.m. or it's 5 p.m. The time is 6 p.m. or it's 6 p.m. The time is 7 p.m. or it's 7 p.m. The time is 8 p.m. or it's 8 p.m. The time is 9 p.m. or it's 9 p.m. The time is 10 p.m. or it's 10 p.m. The time is 11 p.m. or it's 11 p.m. The time is 12 p.m. or it's 12 p.m. We learned how to ask people about the time in 2 different ways. In lesson 18, we learned how to give more information about the time. We learned to tell the time when it's not on the hour. We learned that from 12 to 6 is past the hour, and that from 6 to 12 is to the hour. If the minute hand is at 3, then it's a quarter past the hour. If the minute hand is at 6, then it's half past the hour. And if the minute hand is at 9, then it's a quarter to the hour. We learned that we have to be careful with half past because English logic is different to Hungarian logic. In English, when the minute hand is at 6, it's a half past the same hour. In Hungarian, when the minute hand is at 6, it's a half to the next hour. In week 4, we looked at numbers again and learned some new numbers. The numbers from 20 to 100. We learned the cardinal and ordinal versions. The good thing about the numbers from 20 to 100 is that they have a pattern, a logic which makes them easy to learn. When we want to talk about a number between 20 and 30, for example, we take the number 20, add a hyphen, and then add a number between 1 and 9. 24 is 24. 27 is 27. Easy. It's the same for the other numbers too. 67 is 67. 83 is 83. 59 is 59. Simple. Now, one reason the numbers are important is that we can use them to tell the time. We know how to tell the time when it's on the hour. We know how to tell the time when the minute hand is at 3, 6, and 9. We learned that we can use other numbers when we talk about past and to the hour. 4:20 is 20 past 4. 6:35 is 25 to 7. But now that we know the numbers from 1 to 100, we can tell the time the easy way. We just say what we see. Think of a digital clock. There are no hands, no minute hand and no hour hand. All we see are numbers. This is the easy way to tell the time. We just say what we see. If the digital clock shows 18:45, we say it's 18:45. We can also say it's 6:45 p.m. So, we can use the 12-hour clock with AM and PM, or we can use the 24-hour clock. Now, also in week 4, we looked at possession again. This time we looked at a new way of saying that something belongs to somebody. Do you remember? We used have and have got. Mabel? Table. Now, do you remember the difference between have and have got? That's right. Have is more formal, so usually we use have got. Also, we normally shorten them too, like this. Lesson 19, lesson 19, lesson 19. I've got, you've got, he's got, she's got, it's got, we've got, you've got, they've got. Okay, easy. Now, how do we make a sentence with have got? Well, we start with the person, add have got, and then add the noun. Like this. Gav plus have got plus noun equals Gav has got a car. Gav's got a car. So, Gav's got a watch. Let's try the same sentence with other people. I have got a watch. I've got a watch. You have got a camera. You've got a camera. He have got a laptop. He's got a laptop. She have got a car. She's got a car. It have got 2 doors. It's got 2 doors. We have got 2 dogs and a cat. We've got 2 dogs and a cat. You have got a big house. You've got a big house. They have got 3 horses. They've got 3 horses. Great. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Today, we looked at what we learned in week 4. Next lesson, we'll revise some more of week 4. I'm Gav Duncan. I'm not Michael J. Fox, and I'm not Clint Eastwood. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next lesson to revise what we learned in the 4th week of M5's brand new English learning language program. Let's speak English. See you later. Bye. Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's new English language learning program. Let's speak English. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. Okay, so where were we? Ah, yes, I remember. We're revising what we learned in weeks 1 to 4. Good. Now, last lesson, we looked at asking for and getting information about people and their nationalities. We learned how to ask people where they came from and where they were born. Now we know how to ask where people are from, how to ask what their nationality is, and also how to tell where people are from and where they're not from. It was in lesson 20. We know that the words country and nationality are nouns from group 3, nouns which end in consonant plus y. This means that when we want to make the plural, we change the y to IES. Country is singular, countries is plural. Nationality is singular, nationalities is plural. We know that Sondi and Bill Kopitan are from Hungary. They are Hungarian. We know that Johnny Halliday is from Belgium. He's Belgian. And we know that Gérard Depardieu is from France and he's French and Russian. We know how to say someone is or is not from a country, and how to say someone is or is not this or that nationality. We know how to ask about someone's date of birth and someone's place of birth. We know how to say when and where we were born, and how to ask where and when someone was born. We practiced working out the correct question to fit an answer. Also in week 4, we looked at possession, about things that belong to someone, things that belong to me, or you, or someone else. First, we looked at using the possessive apostrophe S to show possession. Do you remember Alfredo's car and Doreen's dress? It was in lesson 20. This car is Alfredo's car. This car belongs to Alfredo. This is his car. That is Doreen's dress. That dress belongs to Doreen. That's her dress. We also learned that with plural nouns, the apostrophe goes after the noun like this. We also learned that when the plural of the noun is irregular, we add apostrophe S. Then we used the have-got structure to also talk about possession. We learned how to use have-got for singular and plural, for positive and negative sentences. And we also learned how to make questions. It was in lesson 20. We learned the positive and negative and the question form. Do you remember the questions we asked and answered about Alfredo and his family? It was lesson 19. Okay, let's look at the answers. Has Mary Benchfield got a husband? Yes, she has got a husband. Has Tim Benchfield got a skateboard? No, he hasn't got a skateboard. Has John Benchfield got a car? No, he hasn't got a car. Has Mary Benchfield got 4 children? Yes, she's got 4 children. Has Elizabeth Benchfield got 2 brothers and a sister? Yes, she's got 2 brothers and a sister. Has Alfredo Benchfield got a car? Yes, he's got a car. Has Doreen Benchfield got a green dress? Yes, she's got a green dress. Has Gav Duncan got a watch? Yes, he's got a watch. In week 4, we also learned some colours: black, white, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, pink, grey and brown. Do you remember the picture of Doreen Benchfield and the sentences we made about her? It was lesson 19. Okay, Doreen's got a green dress. She's got red shoes. She's got brown socks. She's got a black belt. She's got a pink ribbon in her hair. She's got an orange jumper. She's got yellow teeth. Great. Fantastic. Doreen's got yellow teeth. Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. Try and forget Doreen's teeth. So, what else did we learn? Well, we learned a lot. We learned how to greet people using hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We learned when to use good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In the morning, afternoon, and evening. Okay, but now we know when these times of day start and finish. We know that morning is from 6 a.m. until 12 p.m., noon or lunchtime. We learned that afternoon is from 12:01 p.m., noon or lunchtime, until about 6 p.m. We know that evening is from 6:01 p.m. until about 10 p.m. Good. Now what else do we know? Well, we know the verb to be. We know how to make a positive sentence about ourselves with the verb to be. My name's Gav Duncan. I'm from London. We know how to make a positive sentence about other people with the verb to be. Your name's Clint Eastwood. He's Michael J. Fox. Her name's Sunday. His name's Bill Kopitan. We know how to make negative sentences with the verb to be. They're not policemen. We aren't giraffes. We know that when we want to make a question with the verb to be, the word order changes and we add a question mark to the end to show it's a question. He is fat becomes is he fat? We also know that if the answer is positive, we use the positive form of the verb to be. Yes, he is. If the answer is negative, we use the negative form of the verb to be. No, he is not, or no, he's not, or no, he isn't. We also learned that we use the same method for the plural. They are fat becomes are they fat? Then the positive answer is yes, they are. And the negative answer is no, they are not, or no, they're not, or no, they aren't. When we looked at vowels and consonants, we learned the different ways that singular nouns become plural. We know that there are 5 groups. This was in lesson 10. First, there is group 1. We change these nouns from singular to plural by adding s to the end of the noun. So, 1 umbrella becomes 2 umbrellas. 1 flower becomes 3 flowers. A student becomes 5 students. Then there's group 2. The second group are nouns which end in s, sh, ch, and x. We change these nouns from singular to plural by adding es. So, 1 box becomes 3 boxes. A church becomes 2 churches. A dish becomes 4 dishes. Remember that potato and tomato also add es in the plural. 1 potato, 2 potatoes. A tomato, 6 tomatoes. Then there's group 3. The third group are nouns which end in y. If the noun ends in consonant plus y, then we change the singular to plural by changing the y to ies. So baby becomes babies. Party becomes parties. A dictionary becomes 3 dictionaries. Also in this group, we have nouns which end in vowel plus y. We change these nouns from singular to plural by adding s. So, there is one boy, but 6 boys. There is a monkey in that tree, but there are 9 monkeys in that tree. Okay, so now let's look at group 4. The fourth group are nouns which end in f or fe. To make these nouns plural, we change the f or fe to ves. So, I have a wife, but he is a Mormon, so he has 6 wives. This is a knife, but these are knives. There is 1 shelf, but 3 shelves. Okay, so now we know about the different groups and the way we change singular nouns to make them plural. Now, some nouns are irregular. These nouns are illogical, so we have to learn and remember them. Here are some irregular nouns in the single and plural form. Child, children, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, man, men, woman, women. Okay, so now there are 5 groups. Group number 5 is the irregular group. Here, in group 5, logic is dead. Here are some more irregular nouns, singular and plural. Goose, geese, mouse, mice, sheep, sheep, person, people. When we learned about the different spelling groups for nouns, we also learned that some nouns are always plural. Here are some of these words: scissors, glasses, trousers, jeans, shorts, and tights. These words are always plural. This means that we can never use a, an, or one with them. If we want to make these words singular, we have to say a pair of. So, we know that I have a pair of glasses. I have a pair of jeans. I cut paper with a pair of scissors. In the summer, I wear a pair of shorts. Batman wears a pair of tights. Great, good, fantastic, magic, bing, bing, and bong. Well, that's all the time we have to revise today. I had fun today. I hope you had fun too. Next lesson, we're going to learn some new verbs, so get ready. I'm Gav Duncan. You all know that. I'm not Jeffrey Banana. You all know that too. I'm not Captain America. I'm Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next time for more English on your TV. You've been watching M5's new English learning TV program, Let's Speak English. I'm still Gav Duncan, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye.